Elias Educational Institutions and the work. My name is Peter Henry, and I am the president of the board of directors for Pilgrims of Ibelline. We are a non-geographic, non-profit whose goal is to connect people who want to be friends and supporters of Mar Elias with that institution. Many of you are familiar with the work of Mar Elias and its history and origins in the ministry of Father Abuna Shakur. And we are grateful that you are with us for this webinar today. Lots of people have been involved for many years, but we like to give regular updates as best we can. And I'm so thankful as I look at the panelist list to see some former members of our board of directors, including some former executive directors like John Griggs, that we see Charlotte Craybill White and the Settles and Nancy McCoskey. And if I missed anybody else, I apologize. I also see current members Brenda Mijos and Gail Doreen and Haifa Batista. And we're thankful for everybody who has been a part of supporting the important work of peace and justice through education in Israel and Palestine, which is the mission of Pilgrims of Ibelline. And we are pleased that you'll learn more today about what's going on at Mar Elias. And to get us going into our webinar, I'm thankful to introduce one of our newer board members. And just so you know, we're always adding about 4 to 5 people to our board every year, people with a variety of backgrounds and skills who are able to help us connect friends and funds to ministry in the Middle East. And Gail Doreen is one of those newest board members, and we're grateful for her ministry. And so Gail Doreen, we are in your hands.
All right. Thank you so much, and I add my welcome to Peter's, and I'm glad to be your host, MC, if you will, for the webinar, and want to get us right into hearing from Mar Elias and what's going on there at the school and in Ibelline. I want to add that also just mentioning that Joan Deming is also on the call, and she's also one of our former executive directors. And just glad to have every single one of you here on a weekday, on a Monday morning here and evening in Ibelline. It's my pleasure to get us started by introducing to you the, I would call it newly minted Dr. Emil Haloon. So I just have a few words to say about Emil. Many of you know him as the English teacher and the director of international relations at Mar Elias, but most recently has earned his doctorate with distinction from Bar-Ilan University. Yes, you all can virtually clap for him. And he thought that you, many of you might be interested in that. His dissertation topic is on Christian charity and the intersection with literary criticism. So I'm sure that as you could maybe Emil, or you can have Brenda put your email on if people are interested in getting more information about your topic, that would be a conversation I bet you'd be glad to have. The other thing that Emil does in his spare time is serve on the board there in Ibelline on MEEI's board of directors as well. And he's going to introduce and share with us, introduce his guests of teachers and students. And so it's with great pleasure and no further ado for now. 2 things I want to say, though, added business. One is every time you do Zoom, something changes. And so we had to, at the very end, we had to change hosts, and I'm hosting. I was madly trying to mute us all. If you will keep yourself muted, especially during the presentation, it will just, I think, allow for a generally better experience for all who have spent their time this morning to be with us. And secondly, if you have questions that arise and you don't want to lose that question in your listening, go ahead and write all your questions in the Q&A, not in the chat, but in the Q&A section down at the bottom of your screen. And so for now, other than that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you, Brother Emil, Dr. Emil Haloon.
Thank you, Gail. I'm humbled to be with all of you today in this webinar, and I would name it as the second webinar for this year. So despite the several disadvantages to this software called Zoom, The big advantage is the bridge it creates, the virtual bridge it creates between us here in the homeland in Galilee and our friends in in North America and the United States. So as Gil said, I'm here together with wonderful teachers and one student who has something surprising to share with you, to talk about Mar Elias Educational Institution, which is developing, despite everything, despite the many challenges that the world has been through in the past year and a half. And also Abuna is sending you his best regards, as you will see in the last section of this webinar. So yes, we have been through many difficulties in the past year in light of the COVID-19. Many students and their families have had financial hardships. I must be honest and begin with that, because this has affected many other aspects, not only in their lives, but also in our life as an institution. We are going through nowadays intensive days because of the matriculation exams, but we are going through these days, and I would like to say with much confidence, with much success, because all teachers and all students are doing their best to comply with the many challenging requirements set by the Ministry of Education here. So I would like to introduce at this point Ustaz Naif, Mr. Naif Hamoud, who has been at Mar Elias Educational Institutions for many years. And he's also celebrating the Ramadan nowadays, and he has just had the iftar meal with his family, and I'm really grateful to him for joining us. So Ustaz Naif, I would like you to say a few words about your journey at Mar Elias and anything that you wish to add, especially on what we are going through nowadays, please. Ustaz Naif, you should unmute yourself. You're on microphone.
Okay. Now, I want to start with what you said now about the Ramadan email. We now receive the cakes from our Christian friends for my daughters, the cakes of Easter now, and after 1 week or 2 weeks, we send our cakes for Ramadan to there, and this mix of religions in Mar Elias is unique. I know somebody's from Kabul, Otamra, Sakhnin, that want this mix. There's good schools in the villages, there's a high schools, but they choose to educate their sons or daughters in our school because of the mix of the multicultural and multi-religion. I don't know, this mix is especially the people want this mix. A few words about our work this year under the COVID-19. We function very well with the Zoom learning, and the percentage of the curriculum that we teach this year is more than a regular year, and our students study every day. That's more than a regular year. Some few words I want to talk about the relationship between me and our graduated students that are studying in the universities. I keep touch with our graduated students every year, and I visit the universities, and I talk with WhatsApp with amounts of our graduate in the all universities in Israel. And we support our students everywhere, and I help them to contact their students mates that they are studying in our school, our institute. And I think that is good job that I do, and I help for all the students in the universities. I want to talk about this. Something before a week, I read in the newspaper that in Mar Elias, the students that learn or study mathematics with the 4 points, 5 points, the high level in Israel, is more than 3 times of that number in Sfarham. Sfarham is a city near Berlin that there is about 60,000 people. There are more than 6 high schools, and in all the schools in Sfarham, there's 32 students that are studying mathematics 5 points level, and in Mar Elias we have about 96 students that are learn 5 points mathematics in the high level. That's good news that I read in the internet about a week ago. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much, Ustaz Naif. I'd like to remind everyone that Ustaz Naif has begun at MEEI almost since the beginning, and he wonderfully represents not only his village, Kabul, but also all the graduate students who have been through the campus of Mar Elias. He keeps in touch with them. His bond with them is very strong, and they respect him dearly. The next speaker is Luma. Luma is one more, not teacher, but one more key leader at Mar Elias. In addition to teaching English, she also maintains wonderful relations with the students. She interacts with them daily. She's responsible for so many students, and she will share on this more with you at this point. Please, Luma.
Hello, everyone. Here I would say now good evening, but it's morning, so I would say good morning. My name is Luma Matanis. I have been teaching at Mar Elias High School, which is one of the most prestigious schools, Arabic schools, and in our community for the last 19 years. I would like to talk a little bit about the last year, where we, as Ustaz Naif has just mentioned, actually it was a tremendous year. It was tremendous in term of the distance learning, but I think that we excelled as a school in that domain, because we actually did not only our best, but we surpassed everything that we could imagine. We had all teachers at Mar Elias High School did a great job, and comparing it to regular day, I think we did much more than any other than regular days at school. But still, I'm glad that we're back to school, since life is back to normal in Israel, since most of us, or all of us teachers at school, are vaccinated. We have been vaccinated recently. And personally, I would say that I prefer teaching the frontal teaching, because we maintain the social or the interaction with students, which we lacked during COVID-19, or when we taught on Zoom or via Zoom. So seeing the students at school grants me a feeling of satisfaction that, you know, I see their faces every day. I talk to them. Uh, nothing can replace the face-to-face interaction, talking to our students and um, you know, knowing, acknowledging what they feel, how they feel, and so on. Um, um, what else can I add? I think that I have so many years to come at Mar Elias High School, and I'm proud to be one of the teachers, the English teachers at school. And that's it.
Thank you, Luma. Luma, you're so humble. Can you tell us something about your administrative role at Mar Elias? Because you are responsible for so many students. Can you tell
Yes,
us more
this
about
year,
these students, where they're coming from, and so on
yeah,
and so forth?
this year this is my first year as an administrative, one of the administrative staff at Mar Elias High School. I'm the, I would rather call it the coordinator of the 10th graders. I'm responsible for the 10th graders or 10th grade students. I have 250 students to be responsible for in so many ways. It's a satisfying role that I've taken on myself this year. Very demanding, but I'm doing my best. You know, to keep the students safe, happy, happy at school, and that's it. Yes, I'm humble, Emil, because, you know, I don't
So
have any.
just to put things in proportion, 250 students is a number that we can find as a total number of one more Jewish school in Israel, right?
Exactly, precisely, yes.
In Galilee. So, and one of the kibbutzes or moshavs. So in our case, Loma is responsible for those studying in the 10th grade, and the number revolves around 250. Thank you, Loma. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So the next speaker is Maisa. Maisa is one more key leader at Mar Elias. And let me add that those holding key roles at the high school are not by chance, happen to be mothers, sisters, and wives. And we at our campus strive to empower all people coming from all ethnic backgrounds, and gender plays no role because we believe in equality at all aspects. Ustaz Naif spoke about the amazing harmony between Christians and Muslims at Mar Elias, and I can witness and that I can attest by saying that we give special timing for the month of Ramadan, because we take into consideration that many students are living this spiritual month. So in an attempt to facilitate all but we can, Ustaz Naif works daily on a special schedule for all students, Christians and Muslims alike. The next speaker is Maisa. Maisa is so busy, super busy nowadays with the matriculation exams. Today she left, I believe that she was the last to leave school because the exam lasted and lasted. So many students came in and went out. Today we had the oral Bagrut exams. And thanks to Pilgrims, we purchased headphones for these students, in addition to the computers these students are using nowadays. So we are grateful to all the donors who have helped in the past years to enhance the equipment of Mar Elias. And now I'll leave the stage to Maisa to share more about her mundane, her daily life with us.
Okay, good afternoon, good evening here. My name is Maisa. I have been at Mar Elias for almost 20 years. This is my 20th year. And I am the coordinator of the English teachers. We are a staff of 11 teachers. And I am also the coordinator of the 12th graders. That means I also, similar to Luma, am responsible for 298 students. They are in their senior year and they have been at home for a year and a half, and they are teenagers, so you can imagine what fun that is for me. Life has come back to Mar Elias during the past 2 weeks. We have our school is full of students. We teach full classes, but before life wasn't that easy. It was a very, very challenging and demanding year. I can begin by telling you that hybrid teaching was very difficult. We had half the students in class, and then we would broadcast the lesson to the other half that were at home, and it was very difficult to pay attention to both the students in class and at home. Distance learning, I think that we excelled. Our students, all students at Mar Elias, studied at least 6 periods per day. That means from 8:30 to 1:30, and that was amazing. So in terms of material, everything is fine. We are according to schedule, as Ustaz Naif says. Regarding the exam that we went through today, it was an English exam where students had to talk orally, which is new to us. Last year, because of COVID, they canceled this exam. So today was a very difficult day. Students were tense, but I think that the two classes, we have 10 12th grades, 10 senior classes. The two that took the exam today came out feeling very positive. I think they were very well prepared. And I'm very optimistic that we're back on track. I think it's about time that life comes back to normal. That's it. That's it. Unless there are any questions, of course, I'm more than willing to answer.
Okay, thank you, Maisa. I would like to add one interesting information about Maisa, Luma, and Ustaz Naif, and myself, of course. And also this holds true about the student who will share more about her life together with you. None of us lives in Ibilin. We all commute, right? Because Mar Elias is our second home. So for instance, Maisa drives 1 hour per direction to arrive to school, and she lives in a very nice village called Melia, which is very close to the border with Lebanon. But she has chosen to teach elsewhere. She has chosen to teach at her second home, and the same holds true for Maisa, for Ustaz Naif as well. I would like to invite at this point Nadine. Nadine is a senior student. I'm so happy that she is with us today, despite the hectic schedule. And Nadine will share more about not only her life at Mar Elias, but also about her other ventures in the Holy Land and elsewhere. Nadine, please.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Nadine Sassam. I'm 18. I live in a village called Jdeid al-Makar in the northern district of Israel. It's about like 30 minutes away from my school, and that's why I take the bus every day to school with like a bunch of students who attend the same school as mine. I come from a family of 6. My mother is a teacher, father is a sales agent, and my elder siblings, who are, by the way, twins, they both graduated 10 years ago from the same school. And now they're both nurses, and they both work on the best hospitals in Haifa. My school's major is physics and computer science. I chose these 2 subjects because it's not because I'm passionate about them. only because I am passionate about them, but it's not the only reason. The second reason is because all students, including me, are aware of the effort and hard work you guys, both the Pilgrims of Evelyn, but so much hard work to donate all these computers for the labs. And we can't take that for granted. And I do not take that for granted. So thank you. We appreciate you a lot. In my free time, I usually paint or play the guitar. But what I do like to do the most is travel and like get to be exposed to another cultures and like different people from all around the world. And that's exactly why I participated in 2 different exchange programs so far. The first one was with school to Germany for a week. I learned a lot about Germans, like their food, their traditions, their culture, but I even learned more about myself. And which really encouraged me to apply to a scholarship called YES, it's like short for Youth Exchange and Study. It's a scholarship funded by the American Department of State, where a lot of like more than 300 people apply to it, but only 20 of them get selected. And fortunately, I had all the requirements, so I was one of the 20. It was actually, I really appreciate Mr. Emil for writing me a recommendation. I think this was a major reason why I got accepted, so thank you. I was placed in the state of Colorado. It's a beautiful state, like gorgeous mountains and kind people. I literally had the most adorable host parents, and now they're like my second family. Unfortunately, my year was cut short due to COVID. I was there in 2019, but I'm glad I had the opportunity to go there and to experience all these experiences. It was life-changing. That's it. Thank you. Unless you guys have any questions, I'm open.
Thank you, Nadine. I'm sure that many are eager to ask you some questions about your experience in the States, especially. So yes, each of us presented his / her own angle of life here. We are very happy to answer your questions, to have your comments and inputs. And again, all of us are very humbled to be with you. We are especially grateful to your time, especially in the time zone difference between you and us here. Thank you so much again.
Well, I was asked a question I would like to answer on the question answer. I don't teach at the elementary school. We only teach at high school. I am in charge of the 10th graders, as well as teaching one 11th grade class and one 12th grade class. And I teach Nadine this year as well. I taught her when she was in the 10th grade, and I had the privilege to teach her this year as well. And I wish you the best of luck, of course.
Thank you.
And that's it.
Thank you again to all the panelists. And we do have a couple of other questions in the chat. And I just wanted to also acknowledge yet another one of our board members who is on the webinar today, Kathleen Matsushima. And we're glad to have her, just so glad to have everyone here to hear the inspiration as well as the struggles. One of the questions that came in is just actually to get a little bit, well, actually, I'm going to save that question until after the video. We'll ask our panelists any questions, and then I think we'll close with the video, and then a minute or two for other questions. I'm giving Brenda a little bit of a calling an audible here, but if you all have other, let me see here, if you have other questions for our panelists today, so a question from Dottie is, Nadine, is for Nadine. So will you be able to return to Colorado and continue your college work, or is that a hope even of yours?
Oh, I wish I could. I loved it there, but it's not included to my scholarship. So if I would want to go to complete college there, it's absolutely like my choice, but I'd have to provide like everything for myself. and I'm pretty sure my host family is ready to host me again. But I'd have to do all this work like alone, so it's not included with my scholarship.
All right. I also have a question about Naif, and what grade level do you teach, Naif?
I teach the 12th grade mathematics for the high level 5 points. And that's more than 36 years in Berlin, Mar Elias.
Also for Nadine, just a message from Bob and Carol Rose. They live in Colorado as well, and they're sorry that they missed meeting you, and want to let all of you know that if there are other students coming to the States, I'm sure all of us feel this way wherever we're located, to let us know, and we would be happy to make connections and to provide a meal or an opportunity to speak or to learn or whatever. So inshallah, when that day comes again.
Hopefully, yeah, we'll do that. We'll be honored.
All right. And Joan Deming sends virtual hugs and warm greetings to Emil, Naif, Luma, Maisa, and Nadine, and your colleagues and friends. It means so much to see and hear from all of you. She says she hopes to get back to see you in person, and congratulations on all that everyone has accomplished in a really, really difficult year. So greetings from Joan. And again, I think she echoes many of us are looking forward to the day when we also can come and visit all of you. Greetings from Alan and Dottie. Is it Vilsevic? I hope I got that right. Names are sometimes a challenge, and just see if there are any other questions here in the chat. This is a good one. So Naif, what are the biggest changes you have seen in your 36 years at MEEI? What are the biggest changes that you have seen?
When I started Mar Elias, Father Shakur, where is the, wait a minute.
That's good. You are hearing you now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I started my work in Ebeling, we were about 400 students and 22 teachers. And Father Shakur was 46 years old, young man. And now we are more than 1,200 students and more than 90 teachers, and most of our staff is older than was Father Shakur in the beginning. We are about more than 50 years old is the average in Mar Elias. That's the big change. I don't know. Now in the morning with that 12th grade, there's the photographs of our graduated in the early years, and more than 10 students they raise hand about their mothers or fathers in the photograph in the walls, the corridor in Mar Elias. And that's good. I teach the daughter and the mother, the father. That's a good feeling. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Naif. Peter has a question to any and all of our panelists. What is something that MEEI had to do to adjust to the pandemic that will continue after, and now that teachers are vaccinated and the pandemic is some of that is lifting. What did you learn and will you keep applying? Or what is the one thing you think American supporters can do to help you in your work? Oh, he says pick a question. So pick one, whichever one you'd like to answer.
Emil, I'll answer the first part. You can answer the second, okay?
Okay.
Okay. One of the things that we had to adjust to was distance teaching, and we did that very well. And I think that we're going to continue doing that. So many teachers have adapted to teach after school hours using the distance teaching tools that we acquired. So if we need extra hours, we can teach, let's say, from 7 to 9 p.m. Online with our students, which is great. We didn't have this opportunity before. We would teach them at school after school hours. So now students can go home, have something to eat, rest, and then we can teach them after school hours according to what we agree with them. So that's one tool that we're going to continue doing.
So myself, I'll continue from here, and I would like to pick up the following questions. The following question: what is one thing you think American supporters can do to help you in your work? And let me answer you with the following. I do think that one of the most annoying and I would say even dangerous feeling that this pandemic has left us with is the one of isolation. I saw so many happy faces of those students who came back to campus because they were so much isolated in their own homes, in their own rooms, disconnected from everything around them. And this is not what I wish to myself as an institution. We do not want to be isolated. We want more friends to come to visit. We want more friends to talk to us via Zoom and all social media. And I would like also to see additional groups of pilgrims coming to Abilene, to Galilee, and to area of Jerusalem and Bethlehem. I do think that the moral support is above all the most crucial one, not only for us teachers, faculty, but also for our students. Our students get used to seeing pilgrims, visitors in the corridors, in the yards, walking to the guest house, walking to the to church, and this scene we do not see anymore. So we would like to revive this. We would like to see more people coming to meet with us, to meet with our students. I think that, and Ustaz Naif would agree with me, Maisa and Luma and Nadine as well, we have the best population of Galilee. The best of the best visits our campus on a daily basis. And we would like you to come and see these quality people, if I may add, quality students, quality teachers. Some of them are too shy to speak English, but those who do not, just be confident that deep inside they are also welcoming and they would love to speak with you if allowed. So this is my contribution to this question. If anyone would like to add, I'm happy also. I'm sure our attendees in this webinar will be happy to hear you on this question as well. Says Naif or Luma or Nadine.
Great. I wonder if we have one more question that I will answer, which is about coordination of those wanting to come to visit and particularly to schedule a day at MEEI just for the day or a meeting or even longer, and wanting to know who they would speak to. If you want to put that information in the chat or the Q&A, Emil, that would be great, or Brenda, either one. I think that works better than trying to spell out those details on the voice here. Are we ready perhaps for Brenda to share Abuna? There's a question here that asked about how Abuna is doing health-wise and his just, how he's generally. So I think it would be great to share the video and then see if there's a question or two following that, and then close for the day. So Brenda.
Let me say that Abuna is very energetic and his ambitions have not vanished.
Just a minute.
Able to translate it. The Sermon on the Mount, the way to the kingdom, with the mosaic that's in the front door of the entrance of the church, and with the 9 Beatitudes that the Lord gave us, and they are so important. So this book is a meditation of the Sermon on the Mount as being a central teaching of the Lord, how to go with him along to the kingdom of God. And this is what I wish, that everyone among teachers, everyone among our students, learn the importance of going toward the kingdom. This book is in Arabic like the 2 others. I wish to find someone who is able to translate it into English. By the way, my book, Blood Brothers, has been translated up till now into 29 languages. The last translation that I received a few weeks ago is in Chinese. I don't speak Chinese. I knew it's my book because in the front page it's written Blood Brothers, Mar Elias Educational. So I greet you with this hope that was regenerated with the coming back of the children to the school. This past year of closing down, we used it to renovate so many things that needed renovation. And I must here say a very special thank you, very special appreciation, an expression of love for all of you, Pilgrims of Evelyn, for what you have been able to give us, assisting us to renovate the middle school, around the church, in different aspects in the campus, because it was built in 1982. Since then, it needed renovation. And due to your faithfulness, due to your faith in helping people you don't know, but you should know one thing about these people. They love you, they appreciate you, they respect you, and we pray for you. So we renovated so many aspects among the school. Remains one thing now, to asphalt around the church and to renovate the playground of the middle school. That will be done, God help you. And you, thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you for your continued assistance. Even with the dime of the widow, we are grateful for that. I never forget that lady I never knew, I never saw, who wrote to me in 1998, saying, I identify what you are doing. I read your book, Blood Brothers, and I decided to send you all my savings from last month. And then in the envelope, there was a check for $10. A room in the high school. On top of the entrance door is written, this lady has given us all her savings from last month, in brackets $10. We are grateful not only for your money, but for your friendship, for your prayer, for your continued faith and your encouragement to us to continue working for peace and justice, for justice towards peace. Thank you, and may God bless you.
I would entertain just another question or two if you have anything related to Abuna or what he has shared, or just any closing questions that are still remaining on your mind as we take in all these wonderful presenters, and Naif and Nadine and Emil, Luma, Maisa, and also Abuna in recording, but it's good to see him also in body, spirit, and sharing his his continuing ambitions and prayers for the school as well as for himself. So are there any, let's see, we have one more question here, I see. So it is my understanding, it's from Haifa, but it's my understanding that the book that he references, The Kingdom of God, about the Sermon on the Mount, is still only in Arabic, right? So of course, I mean, if you have really good Arabic skills, that maybe works for you. Some of us now need that distance learning. So I was thinking, wow, would you all teach us Arabic online? That would be really fun. Not sure that, but Haifa reads Arabic, so she wants a copy. Okay, that's good. So then she can translate it for us. Okay. More questions. Does MEEI provide opportunities for someone to set up an endowment that pays, I'm going to stop right there. Yes, I'm sure. Would only need to talk to, first get in touch, go onto the website at Pilgrims of Ebeling, and either can direct you or can give you direct to MEEI information on any kinds of donations that you would want to make or anything that you'd wish to set up. It is almost to time, and I have just, well, I'm going to take one more, actually just one more affirmation from Nancy McCoskey, a word of thanks. It's a blessing to hear of your continuing good work with students, faculty, and staff. God bless you all. That's a pretty awesome way to actually end the formal time of our webinar, and to just give you, again, one more time, our thanks. There is a webinar coming up in less than a month. More details, watch your emails, go to the website, go to Facebook, our Pilgrims of Ebeling page. It is going to be an author event. I think it's going to be very exciting, and there is, the author's name is Richard Forer, F-O-R-E-R. You could go online and find copies, or just send a message through Pilgrims of Ebeling if you'd like to read that book, or at least get a chance to scan it before the webinar on May 19th. That will be at, I believe it's 8 p.m. I think that's Eastern time, but I'm not sure. Brenda,
yes.
Can you? Okay, thank you. So 8 p.m. Eastern time, we'd love to see as many or as all of you as possible. Also, we appreciate all of your prayers, donations to Pilgrims to support MEEI, and just a reminder that if you donated today, or if you still want to, all the proceeds from today go directly to the school and the general scholarships and so on for MEEI. Is there anything else, Brenda, that I should say or you would like to say?
No, but thank you to all our participants for your time, and we look forward to being able to visit you all there soon, we hope.
Yeah, and if there's any other questions or anything that we can be doing, or just to be in conversation with folks, you know, Emil mentioned isolation, and I think it's true for the school. I think it's even true for us on the board, and as the work we're doing and we're passionate about, just love to have conversations and hear stories and be hearing from you all. So don't be shy, or don't hesitate to ask us questions or engage. Peter, Brenda, me, Haifa, other folks who are on here from the board, or which I've now lost count of as well. But really glad to have all of you here. Once more time, thank you all for your participation and staying late tonight to be with us over in Ebeling and in the surrounding areas in the Galilee and in the northern part of Israel. Blessings on you all. Good day.
Thank you.